Today I visited the Shiriuchi Observatory in Shiriuchi Town, Hokkaido. It offers a stunning view of the surrounding nature. Let's take a look at the journey. The access to Shiriuchi Town takes about 5 hours by train and bus from Tokyo. From Hakodate Station, it takes about 2 hours by train or bus. However, there is no train station here. If you take the train, you need to go to Kikonai Station first, and then take a bus from there. The name Shiriuchi comes from the Ainu words Shiriuchi, meaning a place where birds are. This town was famous for hawks, and more than half of the hawks presented to the Tokugawa shogunate were caught here. Because of its rich natural environment, Shiriuchi is home to a variety of wildlife. It's easy to see why hawks were once so abundant here. The forests and rivers provide a perfect habitat for birds and other animals. Unlike big cities, rural towns like this offer a slower, quieter way of life. Some people might find it peaceful, while others might think it's too quiet. Would you prefer living in a big city or a quiet countryside like this? If you visited Shiriuchi, what would you like to do here? Do you have similar rural towns in your country? Let me know in the comments. Today, we are exploring a quiet countryside town in southern Hokkaido, Shiriuchi. This town has a long history, unique landscapes, and a shrine located at the end of a long straight road. How different is rural Japan from where you live? Let's take a walk and find out. This straight road, about 3 kilometers long, leads from National Route 228 along the coast to Omonai Shrine, lined with around 500 cherry trees. It is known as Omonai Sakura Road, and is one of the famous cherry blossom spots in southern Hokkaido. But today is February 26th, still winter, so unfortunately there are no blossoms yet. As I mentioned earlier in the on-screen text, this straight road will continue for about 30 minutes with little change in scenery. I'm doing my best to capture different views, but if you find it boring, feel free to skip ahead using the video chapters in the description below. Hokkaido has many long straight roads like this. In fact, the longest straight road in Japan is also in Hokkaido, stretching about 29 kilometers. I hope I can upload a video of Japan's longest straight road someday. But for now, let's focus on this road. Even though it's not the longest, it still gives a sense of Hokkaido's vast landscapes and quiet atmosphere. Walking here feels peaceful, almost like time slows down. Did you notice the many poles with arrows lined up along the roadside? These are called yabane in Japan. At first, they might seem like just ordinary road markers, but they actually play a crucial role, especially in winter. Imagine driving in a heavy snowstorm. The road is completely covered in snow, and you can't see where it ends. Without these markers, you could easily veer off the road. Yabane helps drivers stay on track even in the worst weather conditions. They are also helpful at night. Have you ever driven on a dark road with no street lights? Yabane reflects headlights or even lights up, guiding drivers safely through poorly lit areas. Interestingly, these poles were originally designed for snow removal. Without them, plowing the roads in poor visibility would be much more dangerous. Even today, they remain essential for both drivers and road maintenance crews. Now that we know how important these are, let's keep going and see if we can spot more unique features along this road. We can see some animal tracks here. What animal could they be? By the way, Hokkaido is home to animals like deer, foxes, raccoons, rabbits, and even brown bears. Could it be one of them? This road is so long and straight that it's easy to lose track of time, so let's have a little quiz to keep things interesting. Question 1. Hokkaido is the second largest island in Japan, but how big is it compared to other places in the world? Which of the following is closest in size to Hokkaido? Number 1. Denmark. Number 2. Iceland. Number 3. Ireland. Number 4. Austria. Take a moment to think. The correct answer is number 4, Austria. Hokkaido is about 83,000 square kilometers, while Austria is around 84,000 square kilometers. They are almost the same size. Many people don't realize just how large Hokkaido is. Despite being part of Japan, it has vast open spaces, snowy winters, and a unique culture that make it feel quite different from the rest of the country. Question 2. Japan is made up of 47 prefectures, stretching from the northernmost island of Hokkaido to the southernmost islands, but do you know which prefecture is officially the southernmost in Japan? Number 1. Kagoshima. Number 2. Okinawa. Number 3. Tokyo. Number 4. Miyazaki. Take a moment to think. The correct answer is number 3, Tokyo. This might surprise many people, but Japan's southernmost point is actually in Tokyo Prefecture. The reason is that Tokyo includes a tiny coral atoll called Okinotorishima, which is located far in the Pacific Ocean, even further south than Okinawa. Okinotorishima is Japan's southernmost territory, and although it is mostly underwater at high tide, it plays an important role in Japan's exclusive economic zone (EEZ), giving Japan control over a large area of the surrounding ocean. Many people assume that Okinawa is the southernmost prefecture, but officially it is Tokyo. Question 3. In many cultures, certain numbers are considered unlucky. In Japan, which of the following number is often associated with bad luck? Number 1, 3. Number 2, 4. Number 3, 7. Number 4, 8. Take a moment to think. The correct answer is number 2, the number 4. In Japan, the number 4 is considered unlucky because it is pronounced shi, which sounds like the word for death. Because of this, many hospitals and hotels avoid using the number 4 for room numbers or floors, similar to how some Western buildings skip the 13th floor. Another number that some people consider unlucky is 9, as it sounds like ku, which is similar to the word for suffering. This is why some hospitals also avoid the room number 9, but 4 is generally the more widely recognized unlucky number in Japan. On the other hand, numbers like 7 and 8 are often considered lucky, with 7 appearing in many traditional celebrations. Question 4. Japanese uses many foreign words, but sometimes their meanings are different from the original language. What does the Japanese word mansion mean? Number 1. A large mansion. Number 2. An apartment. Number 3. A hotel suite. Number 4. A luxury villa. Take a moment to think. The correct answer is number 2, an apartment. In English, mansion refers to a large, luxurious house. However, in Japan, mansion actually means an apartment building, usually a modern mid to high-rise residence. If you hear a Japanese person say, "I live in a mansion," they are not talking about a huge estate, they just mean they live in an apartment. Question 5. In English, the word cider usually refers to an alcoholic apple drink, especially in the UK. But in Japan, if you order a cider, what will you get? Number 1, an alcoholic apple cider. Number 2, a clear carbonated soft drink. Number 3, a fruit flavored tea. Number 4, a fermented vinegar drink. Take a moment to think. The correct answer is number 2, a clear carbonated soft drink. In Japan, cider refers to a transparent, sweet, carbonated beverage. It can come in various flavors, including lemon, apple, or grape, but the drink itself is usually colorless and non-alcoholic. In contrast, in English-speaking countries, cider often means an alcoholic beverage made from fermented apples. So, if you order cider in Japan, expecting an alcoholic drink, you might be surprised to get a soft drink instead. That's the end of the quiz. How many did you get right? Let me know in the comments. Alright, let's keep walking. We have about 20 more minutes until we reach Omonai Shrine. There's a pine tree over there. That pine tree is growing at an angle, probably because of the snow. As you can see, in Hokkaido, sidewalks in rural areas with few pedestrians are often not cleared of snow. That's why walking on sidewalks in winter can often be difficult. I wonder if you have any questions while watching the rural scenery of Hokkaido. There are probably some differences compared to other countries, but for someone like me, who has seen this kind of landscape my whole life, it's hard to know what really stands out or what to focus on. So if you notice anything interesting or different from your country, feel free to leave a comment. It would be great to hear what stands out to you. Maybe there are things that seem completely normal to me but actually unusual from an outsider's perspective. Slowly but surely, we can start to see the torii gate of the shrine. But we still have about 8 minutes until we arrive, so if you are getting bored, feel free to skip ahead using the video chapters in the description below. By the way, did you know that torii gates symbolize the entrance to sacred ground? Once you pass through, you are stepping into a spiritual space. Many torii are painted red, but do you know why? The red color is believed to have the power to rod of evil. However, the tree at Omonai Shrine is white. Unlike red trees, which are meant to protect against evil, white trees symbolize purity and a deep connection to the divine. You'd often find white tree at shrines dedicated to deities of nature, mountains, or water. They create a more serene and peaceful atmosphere compared to the bold red tree. Have you ever seen a white tree before? Let me know in the comments. As you can see, this area is very quiet. There aren't many people walking around. Many rural areas in Japan are experiencing population decline. More young people are moving to big cities, leaving behind older generations. What's the countryside like in your country? Is it quite like this? Life in the countryside is very different from the city. It's peaceful, but daily life can be more inconvenient. For example, there aren't many stores nearby, and public transportation is limited. Most people rely on cars to get around. But at the same time, living in the countryside has its own charm. You can enjoy fresh air, open spaces, and a slower pace of life. Some people are starting to move back to rural areas, looking for a simpler and more relaxed lifestyle. And before we know it, we've arrived near a protected forest. Protected forests, or Honden in Japanese, help prevent landslides, protect water sources, and support wildlife. This protected forest is long and amazing. We are almost there. Just a little more to go. I can already feel the atmosphere changing as we get closer. I wonder what the view will be like once we arrive. The slope behind the shrine adds to the sacred atmosphere. I wonder if there are any other shrines located at the end of such a long straight road.